Good day, everyone. Today is, Wednesday, June 9, 2021, and the reason I'm over at this aquarium that I've shared quite a few videos with is I've noticed something. I came through and did a bit of trimming a week or so ago, but I thought it was still a bit bushy up in this area, and I wanted, the water sprite, this plant here, to take more of a hold next to the Hygrophila deformis all around it. And in efforts to gain a bit of biodiversity, which there's really no short of in this tank, I poured, it's been, I guess, a couple of weeks now, or no, probably 9 or 10 days since the last time I poured some of my outside water down in here, and I've noticed something growing. As I cut a lot of the foliage from this area and removed it, and gosh, it's already outside, so I can't really show you all my cuttings, but anyway, I was cutting the Hygrophila deformis and binding them up in rock wool and putting them in little plastic pots, setting them outside in buckets of water, and just doing some tank maintenance type stuff. And I began looking at the things that I had uncovered, plants and such. It allowed me to also trim this hygro plant, different species, Pinnatifida, I believe, and I began looking very closely at things and noticed a bit of staghorn algae, which is new to this aquarium. And it seems to have come from down in this area. It was growing on this Java moss that was down underneath some other stuff. Let me see if I can find another bit where it was. Here's a bit of algae growing. We can't really see it too great because it's very close in color to that Java moss, but it's growing all in the Java moss in that little patch. And I think I even pulled some from over in this area and moved it to another tank. It's not at all that I'm opposed to algae. I just actually wanted it growing in more places. So if you see something a bit strange, oh, look at this. There's a whole web of algae growing down in here, right in and amongst, whoops, not that, the Java moss and a Wendolive Java fern. There is some algae that's again growing, and I'm not doing water changes in this tank. It's got something like 25 to 35 species of plants in here, and there aren't that many fish. There are actually probably only about 50 fish in this 55-gallon tank. Very heavily planted, lots of light. CO2's off. CO2 has been off for, I'm going to say, the greater part of a week, just because I ran out of reagents to reactants. Go ahead and make some CO2 with. And yeah, so it's been off for a bit, and maybe this has something to do with that, but I've pulled back on the fertilization and definitely noticed some new stuff. Also, another part of it, not that this is like alien biology to a home freshwater planted aquarium, but I've never had it before, and I'm enjoying it, or at least I've never had it to the point where it was growing like this, and I'm enjoying it. So, sorry guppies, I'm not trying to take pictures of you right now. Anyway, yes, staghorn algae. This is a kind of a gray, or maybe a very pale mossy green, but yeah, really it looks gray from my point of view right now. That's at 2.4 times zoom, not a lot, and I'm basically something like 4 centimeters away from the glass right now with the camera, so that is what it is. Anyway, other things are doing pretty darn well in here. Let me give you some views of that. Alligator, that is an alternanthera. Oh, I can't remember the species name. I'll look it up in a second and share it. This is Ludwigia ovalis. and that was natively collected as well as the last plant that I showed you. Now this Ludwigia does not tend to branch a lot when it's submerged. It wants to go straight upward. So what I have done with a number of them is let them grow upward and snip, and then they start shooting out little leaves like this. And the stem just looks terrible on it right now, but this will come back, and when it does come back, it will be a nice branched plant. This one over here is doing some of that without my help. Let's look down here. You can see, like right in this area, some branching has already started occurring. Anyway, I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of those plants in here, but I haven't been keeping them very long, just a few weeks, and enjoying watching how the native natural variety of Ludwigia ovalis is growing. Also of note, there is a Ludwigia repens plant that I just started in this tank. I took a little bit that broke off the top from another tank and just brought it over here. I thought it would be kind of cool and watch the small plants go. And because this tank is so heavy, I don't follow a rule that a lot of people would when planting, which is fast growing or plants that are going to get a lot of height quickly. Normally we plant those toward the back, and plants that are going to stay rather small, you kind of put up front. So something like that AR back there, that normally would be more of a foreground, mid-ground plant. As it's kind of used over here, they don't grow very quickly. But I wanted more color from it, and I did want it to grow a bit more quickly. And with a 55-gallon tank, there's quite a bit of depth to penetrate. So the light really is more effective if I have it planted back there up in a pot. Also right now I have an empty pot just to the left of it. You can't really see it, but there is an empty pot that's waiting to be planted. And I cleared up quite a bit of real estate down in here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I've got it now. So on that note, thanks for sticking. Thanks for watching. I'm going to look at this. This is Bacopa caroliniana right here. I dig that little plant. Also, there's quite a bit of it growing. There's Bacopa caroliniana and Bacopa monieri growing in here, as well as Lysimachia, this plant that looks quite a bit like them. Let's see if we can get a view of those from this side. There's a bunch of stuff hiding down in here that I still need to kind of clean out, but a lot more Lysimachia. There's an Anubias plant down in here, and I think it's time to clean out some more of this high grow. But I don't want to take too much out of the time because that will kind of destabilize things. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Give me a like, subscribe, share, and catch you soon.